Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. How are you doing today, Crystal?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that you decided to come on and do the business spotlight with me. As I mentioned, one of my goals is to highlight the success partners that I have on a project that we're working on together. And just the point is to really get to know more about you and then also get to know more about your business, and looking for an opportunity for me to share who you are and what you do and the passion that you have behind your business. So let's go ahead and jump right in and let's
Okay.
get started. So my first question is, when did you start doing what you do now in your business?
So I started my business in April of 2021. So it's fairly new.
Okay.
However, I have worked in the field of safety for roughly 8 years now. So I have experience in, promoting safety awareness, keeping people safe, safety training. So I would say over a year ago, probably doing what I'm doing right now in my business.
Okay, awesome. So would you tell me why? Like, why safety?
So, safety is when I got into safety a couple of years ago, I really enjoyed research, so big picture. And then when I was in grad school, I kind of focused in occupational health after doing a few internships with the city of Houston and Harris County in the areas that I live. And so when I went out there to these work establishments, I found that the employees didn't like we did random inspections, and I found that they didn't really know a lot about safety. Like pushing the product was priority, but safety was something, some of them didn't even know where the first aid kit was located at the work site. And so I was like, okay, I think everyone should, have a choice in making it home safely every day. They should be given that knowledge. So I really wanted to go into this field to teach others to go home safe every day. It's only fair. And because I had that knowledge, I felt it was my responsibility to share.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so here's the question that I would like to ask you next, right? So if you had to give me your passion pitch about your business, how would that passion pitch about who you are, what you do in your business, how would that go?
So my passion pitch would be, so my business focuses on teaching children how to be safe while having fun at the same time. You know, I feel that children like to explore, they like to have fun. And at the same time, we want to make sure that, they come home in one piece, they know the right thing to do. Because a lot of times when children get hurt, they lack knowledge in safety or what should they do in a dangerous situation. So my passion for my company is teaching children these critical skills. So when they get in these situations, they know exactly the right decisions to make.
Okay, so you made me super excited. Like just even listening to the passion that you have for what it is that you do and for making sure that you are keeping children safe. That is monumental. In so many spaces, right? There's so many people that you could partner with that could help you with your vision, right?
Mhm.
So I'd like to ask you, so if I'm a person that I don't know a lot about safety, but I do care, what questions should I be asking myself as like a parent or like a teacher when I want to start on a journey to find out more about safety? What kind of questions would I ask, or where would I go to find out more?
So to find out more information, whatever you're doing and whatever project you're doing, the internet has a ton of information. I would try to go to places like OSHA, or have you heard of like the National Safety Society, because they have information on how your child should be safe, right? Even like my company pretty much tries to promote, safety in a very basic, simple form so that everyone can understand. But you really want to go where the experts are because they have knowledge and they have experience in keeping you safe. Another thing I wanted to add is I think in everything you do, you want to look for, okay, this is an important task, but what can I do to make sure that I put my best foot forward? So, you know, like I said, go to your local, your city, or like your state, their websites. There are different tips on things to do when it comes to safety. It's pretty much everywhere. You don't want to rely so much on social media, but you want to go to like accredited resources.
Thank you. So we're going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to ask a little different style of question. And I think you'll enjoy it. So if you had to think about your life, how would you want the world to be different because you lived in it?
I want the world to be different because I live in it, I guess making an impact in what I do now in safety. And it's funny because as I go into the world, even though my company is new, everywhere I go now, people are saying, oh, hey, SafetyKay, you know, so that my brand is out there. So they understand what I do and what I stand for. And I've been able to link with like camps this past summer, and classrooms, and even organizations, community organizations geared towards focusing on like child health and safety. So that's really big for me. And so I can already see the impact that I'm having. So I think for me, it's just getting that information out to these different schools or these camps, or getting it to the children, getting this information into the hands of the parents, so that again, everyone is given a choice and making the right and safe decisions and know what they can improve on, right? So we can have a safer world.
All right. So for y'all that are out there watching, just let you know, everything in technology, and as you are thinking and doing things, nothing goes as according to plan. We have some people working on the roof, and so they're making a lot of noise. They're up there kind of like doing the theme song for Rent, I think right now. That's happening on the roof. But anyway, but I loved your answer. And I actually love asking that question because I like watching people's eyes light up as they share what they believe they're contributing to the world or globally, or, you know, just in the impact that they're having. So that's awesome. And I can imagine people calling you SafetyKay, because that's how I think of you. I'd be like, oh, you know, I'm going to call SafetyKay because she would know. And this is the area that she works in. So kudos to you for that. So I'm going to ask you to, this is kind of in the same vein of that kind of question. I'm going to ask you to share with us, if you asked us to close our eyes and to do a visualization of you, Crystal Hodges, SafetyKay, growing personally and professionally, what does that look like? How would you navigate it? How would you navigate us through a visualization of your growth personally and professionally for the future?
So my growth personally and professionally would be, I guess, it just continue to learn and just to do more and to touch more people, and just get better, having a larger impact for me. That's how I'm growing, either in my personal life and in my professional life. It's making changes and seeing results. I think it's kind of a way that I measure how I'm growing personally and professionally. So I know for professionally, like I said, learning more, doing more, becoming more of an expert in my field, and in my business, the impact, the engagement, the outreach is really big for me.
So that naturally leads me to this question. When you think about business ownership, what are your thoughts on business ownership as it links to legacy and succession?
Okay, so business as it leads to legacy and succession. So yeah, you want to look at what you're doing, what is your focus, what is your mission? So you determine how your legacy and how you're going to remember it, you know what I mean? And so I know for me, even as being a new business, I made sure to hook up with a lot of mentors and, you know, business programs so I can put my best foot forward. And I want people to know how I want SafetyKay to have a great legacy. I want it to be a household name. I want people to talk about it in the classrooms and in their homes, that in everything they do, they're putting safety first and making it a priority. I think that is the biggest thing for me when it comes to sealing my legacy, and the impact, whether it's the speaking, that I do in these different areas, or the projects that I do, the hands-on experience, even my animation videos. I want the SafetyKay, the legacy, to be remembered of positive impact in making safer communities.
Thank you. So legacy is super important to me. I love to ask that question as well, simply because I think that as business owners, a lot of times we are focusing on money. Right. And rightfully so. Like we have to live, and we should be paid a fair wage for whatever it is that we're offering in our businesses. I have noticed that as I elevate my business, or as my business evolves, there are so much more that business owners are in business for. A lot of people enter into spaces because they're solving a problem that they themselves have had, or they are solving a problem that is, directly related to them in some way, whether it's a family member or a friend or loved one or partner. And then I thought to myself, in some of our communities, and I'll share with you, so on this contract that we are success partners in, we are about 95% biopic. And so for me, I always share with people that a lot of small business owners don't have a succession plan in place. So they know what their legacy is, they know what they aspire to, they know their purpose, but they haven't really sat down and thought through, what will succession look like for me? Like if I decide to step out as being the head of my business, or if anything happens to me, what happens to this, what I have built after me, right? Is this going to go to my kids? Is this going to go to the community? Is this going to, like, how have I lined that up? And I will tell you that I didn't start thinking about that until I got this contract. And part of the reason I started thinking about it is because the contract is for 5 years with an option for 2. And I really started saying, if anything happens to me, I don't want the people on this contract, I don't want that to just collapse, right? I want someone to pick that ball up and help the people on my team or my success partners be able to continue along and be able to still be able to make money and still have impact. And so that's what made me ask the question, because I identified that I hadn't been thinking about that over the last 6 or 7 years, but I have started thinking about it now. And my reason for that is, when you get in spaces where what you are doing becomes bigger than yourself, and you really have to start thinking about the impact and the influence that you're having, it really makes you think in a very evolved way. Right. And so I love asking that question, because I love seeing where business owners are, what they desire, what is their desire for the business or this creation. Right. And then also, because I find that co-creating is how I have leveled up my business every time. So just wanted to share that. So now I want to turn it back over to you and ask you some things. Tell us where, first I'd like to know, do you have any events or anything that we could support you in that is going on in the next month or so, or anything you'd like, any special event that you'd like us to share with us?
Oh, so actually, this past weekend on Saturday, I participated in the Foodie 5K, 10K family run that happened here in Houston, Texas. So it was awesome out there to see all the families and the young children running, racing, doing something safe and healthy, as I was out there as a vendor. For this month, I'm doing 2 events with Change Happens here in Houston, Texas. So they have a health fair coming up, and another event at their elementary school where I will be promoting safety awareness. And then I have a community event where I'll be teaching children about pool safety for the summer. And so I have those events coming up this month. So I'm very excited about that. Anywhere where I can get children to participate in fun activities, learning about safety, you know, and the parents enjoy it. They love it. They'll bring their kids up to me. And, you know, kids are very entertaining. They're very smart, but just making sure they have those critical skills. And again, making sure they keep safety at the forefront is my priority.
Look, we're every day. Like so I'm putting it on mute so I could quiet it out so we can hear you well. And then I was like excited and I was ready for the next question. And I was like, Tiffany, you must be on mute. And we say that how many times a day? Like, do we say you're on mute when we're doing a virtual call? So the next item is tell us where we can find you. So if we wanted to find you in these internet streets, where would we go to follow you and support you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at SafetyKay, on Facebook, SafetyKay LLC, and on LinkedIn. I have a website, SafetyKay.com, and also I have a YouTube page, SafetyKay, Safety Tips for Kids, and I have several animation videos on there where they're just very quick, short videos over general safety topics that children can look at, that teachers can use, that parents can look at, and, you know, teach children safety.
Thank you so very much. I have enjoyed this time talking to you. So for those of you in the audience that are watching this, thank you for sharing time with us. Please go out and support SafetyKay. And then also go check out her YouTube page because she does have some fabulous tips. And it's something that you could actually sit and watch with your children and then have some conversation around safety. It's a really good gateway to be able to open up the conversation about safety. So I want to thank you again for joining me. And then until the next time I see you all, be intentional about growing your business. And I am Tiffany, the CEO of VRE Training Solutions. And until the next time I talk to you, thank you again for joining.
Thank you.